welcome to episode 1 of Saving for a Mansion. So in total the mansion is 16.2 million, and in this video I'm mainly in my nightclub and auto shop and buying other businesses to help me along the way. I hope you enjoy this video. So the first thing I start with is grabbing all the remaining money in my wall safe in my nightclub. Just in case you didn't know, once you get a nightclub, every day in game, which I believe is 45 minutes, you get £50,000 in your wall safe. However, to make sure you're definitely getting the 50,000, your nightclub popularity has to be at the max. The lower it goes, the lower amount of money you get paid per day in game. So here I'm currently on my computer to see how the nightclub business is going. In a minute I also circle which ones I want to buy from these lot, which is the ones I'm currently circling now. What these are basically different businesses and companies that you can store in your storage area of the nightclub, which you can then sell for lots of money. So I want South American Import, Sporting Goods and a couple others. Then after that I went to my MC Clubhouse, which is where you can buy lots of different lockups. So after looking at different lockups, I decided to go with this one, as I didn't want to cheap out on it, but I didn't want to buy the most expensive one. After I bought the lockup, I went over there to go set it up. So with this setup mission, it's really simple. All you have to do is drive to a point, get in a car and drive back. You don't try to get killed by other gangs or anything. All you have to do is drive there and back. Right, I can't lie, here I was stressing a bit because at the time I didn't know what I sort of had to do, so I was expecting to be chased down by lots of different gangs and be shot at and possibly die a couple times. However, it really was just as simple as driving there and back. After I completed the setup, I went back to my nightclub to go do a mission to increase popularity and claim my money out of the wall safe. Honestly, I can't lie, she needs to stop yapping. While I was in the nightclub, I hired a technician to now my new South American Imports business. I also took some more money out of my wall safe. Then I went over to my cash counterfeit money factory so I could also start producing money for there and set another technician to it at my nightclub. I then bought some supplies but completely forgot to actually restart the business up. Yeah, well done me, that was a smart one. Then after that I decided to do a quick payphone here as they're quick and easy money.
This should be a wholesome ass day of work.
Right, so for a quick summary, what I have to do in this mission is to blow up a golfer on the 6th hole. Now this is if I wanted the bonus money, if not I could have just headshot sniped her from a distance. But as I wanted the bonus money, as it's quite a lot, I had to blow her up. So what I had to do is I had to get the bomb in the bag over here. I had to go to the 6th hole and plant a bomb on the flag. And then when she went near it, I had to detonate it, blowing her up and receiving my bonus. Now what you're seeing me here is currently running around frantically trying to find the 6th hole. This took me quite a while. I'm not sure quite how long, but I was there for ages just running around and around in circles looking for the 6th hole. I'm not being funny, but they did not make it very clear which one. Well, except from the fact that there was a big red target saying assassinate the target, which happened to be playing on hole 6, which would make sense. Then once I planted it, all I had to do was wait for the right time and then blow it. I then ran off and drove, or you could say fly, in my Deluxo and then received the money, which 45,000 isn't bad considering that probably didn't take me much longer than 5-10 minutes. I went to my agency, claimed the money in my wall safe and then did a setup mission for the heist I wanted to do in the future.
This is where all the deals get done.
Can't lie, I never knew Dr. Dre was that good at golf until this mission. To me, I can't lie, he looks like a pro scratch golfer.
Nah, I'm going to get...
Right, so give you a rough summary on what happens is Dr. Dre basically has like this music disc thing or his phone that got lost because somebody stole it. So basically the whole goal of this is to retrieve all the evidence that got stolen off of his phone. But in this part particular, what ends up happening is he tells us we need to retrieve his phone and everything, and then what ends up happening, get interrupted by these two golfers that said we were causing a pain and whatever, and they wanted to play through, which Dr. Dre was really stubborn about, and then we ended up chasing them down and beating the crap out of them with a golf club.
Take care of these fucking assholes before they.
So the first guy was quite easy. I just sort of sat there and he sort of just bumped straight into me. Then he got spooked and ran off into the distance, so I decided to switch my target to the other guy. I have to admit, the second guy was a lot harder to get, but in the end we ended up getting him and beating him up. And let's just say, when I got the opportunity, I did not hold back.
Yeah. Call Mr. Young. Tell him I'll resign my membership.
Then, after making a full-grown man beg for his life, I proceeded to get some money and complete the mission, being a step further to the heist. I then went back to my nightclub, punched the crap out of my security guard, went in and proceeded to complete another mission to increase my popularity, which was to pick this full-grown man up like a toddler and throw him out head first. I then went to my acid lab to see how that was doing.
Good to see you.
Now here I was a bit confused because I was convinced I got some product and supplies from my last video to improve production. However, clearly I did not. So then I bought some supplies for 60,000. I then went to my auto shop and did a car delivery, as it's really quick and easy money. I then gave her car to her and received £80,000. Not bad for a quick 5 to 10 minute mission. After that I went back to my auto shop and went to go start a heist. I chose the bank contract as it sounded the most interesting and it paid the most.
So, you want to rob a bank? How about 6 of them bitches?
Damn, that's quite a lot of bitches. So for the first setup, all I had to do was go retrieve some thermal charges. Once I got there, I decided to start bombing them from above, and then I flew straight into the thermal charges and then flew straight back to my auto shop. Now honestly, I can't say it enough. If you're first starting out, or even if you're not starting out and you've not already got it, make sure to get a Deluxo or an Oppressor Mark II, because it just makes your life so much easier, especially in missions like this where you can use your own personal vehicle. I then went straight into the second mission, which is Signal Jammers. What you have to do is you have to get him and then attach him to the Fleecer bank. I then opened this random car's boot, and I couldn't have looked any more suspicious than I took the Signal Jammers and then went straight to the Fleecer banks. Now notice how I said banks and not bank, because they don't just want you to go to 1 or 2 banks, they want you to go to 6 banks. Yes, 6. Right, I can't lie, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I just did the thing that felt right and I shot the camera out. However, that was like the worst thing to do in that scenario, because I got 3 stars wanted, and for the rest of the 6 banks I had 3-star wanted, which was not helpful whatsoever. Now the problem with waiting to lose the cops on you is that it wasted a lot of time, preventing me to actually place Signal Jammers in all 6 Fleecer banks. Despite only getting 3, I still passed the mission and got £10,000. It turned out in the end anyway, for the heist, I didn't even use the sonar jammers, mainly because I didn't really know what to do or how they worked.
Hey, so we gotta...
Then I finally started up the last part of the heist, which was doing the heist itself. But this includes robbing 6 banks, so I shall show you the footage of how that went.
When you get to the bank, head right to the vault. It's always in the back, and that's where all the racks is at. Got them thermal charges if any bullshit get in your way. Blow the hinges off of something. Fuck it.
Now, as I was 3-star wanted throughout all of this, it made it really hard as I always had police on me.
Hey.
While I was driving as well, I also decided just to throw myself out the car, which was fun.
Hardy, you know that?
Take him down!
Tick-tock, motherfuckers, tick-tock.
Right, so for whoever does this mission, especially if they're solo, make sure to get the super heavy armor at the beginning because it is really important. Not only that, but also make sure to constantly be chugging snacks to heal your health.
On to the next. Shut up, y'all.
Right, so I did end up dying, meaning I literally had 1 life left.
Pull up, hit the vote, leave with the fat pocket. It's a shame we can't spend none of these notes. You know they marked. I would have laid these bitches out on my sheet. Me and my girl, shit.
So for this one, I tried to get my snacks out and chug snaps so I didn't die. However, I didn't realise when I had my menu bar open, I couldn't also enter my vehicle. So I ended up dying. Now, this got me really frustrated because I didn't think I'd actually be able to restart it or go from like a checkpoint or anything until I found out that I could restart from a checkpoint, which I did, and luckily it wasn't at the beginning and it was actually pretty much the exact point I was at. All I had to do was just drop the cash off.
Hell fucking yeah.
Right, so as you can see, I'm currently 5-star wanted, and it's not very easy to escape 5-star wanted, especially not when there's cop cars driving like kamikaze drivers trying to kill you.
That's in that state in one go. But that's you.
So the entire time I was driving, trying to escape, all I was looking for is railroads, which I finally came across after about like 15 minutes of driving away from the police. Now, the reason I want to go on the railroads is because police cars and just the police in general can't actually follow you on railroads in GTA 5, meaning if you stick on the railroads, they will not be able to find you, especially if you go under a tunnel like I did. Then I dropped the money off this middle-aged man who looked like he worked in either CEX or game. So in total I made 320,000, which honestly isn't that bad. Also, while I was going back to my car, this guy ran at me like he wanted a fight, so I went to go give him a fist fight until he started shooting at me. So then I just decided to snipe him in the head. Then proceeded to stare at his lifeless body. I then went back to my cash counterfeit, realised my mistake from earlier with not actually restarting the business and proceeding to do that. I then went back to nightclub to increase my popularity.
A whole lot of gangsters and players, but not too many good men though.
She must not have met me then. Right, so this guy was causing trouble, so I stared him down, and then me and Marcel took care of him. I then went to my lockup to see how the production was going. While I was at my lockup, I decided to resupply it and then also buy a staff upgrade to help the efficiency of making the product. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to subscribe for part 2 of On the Way to Buy a Mansion. So part 2, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the nightclub and the agency, trying to make as much money as I can.